This is the story of how I made this music video for my single Kingdom Falling, out now on Anjunadeep. So, a couple summers ago, I was just beginning this lore project, and I was exploring the lore sound, and I had been making this song called Kingdom Falling. And it was the first track where I was like, okay, maybe I found the sound of lore. And I was mixing this track, and I got a call from my mom saying that she really wants to go to Hawaii, and some of her friends are going, some family friends, and my mom and dad are gonna go, and they wanted me to go too. And I was at a point where I was like, I can't fuck off to Hawaii for a week. Like, I gotta be, working. I'm starting from ground zero again on my music career. I can't just go to Hawaii. And then I thought to myself, what if I was able to film a music video and be productive while I am there? So at the time I was mixing this Kingdom Falling song, and I was thinking to myself, what is this music video gonna be, or what would it be? And obviously there's a robot vocal in it. When we all become the sunshine. So I was thinking, okay, well, we definitely need a robot in it. And I was like, am I gonna be the robot? No, too cringe for me. So I was just browsing the web. I was trying to find toys. I was trying to find anything I could find, like actual robots. And then I stumbled upon a puppet, a robot puppet from Prague. And I was like, yeah, this is right. This feels right. So I rush ordered this robot from Prague to Maui. And I also was thinking, okay, if I'm gonna be shot puppeteering this puppet, maybe you'll catch me as the puppeteer. Maybe you'll see my hands, maybe you'll see my feet. I don't know what we're gonna see. I'm just kind of quickly trying to figure this out. So the thought was, okay, maybe I'll wear a tux so that, it'll look intentional on camera. So I get this tux, a big bow tie and the whole thing. Definitely not ideal for August in Hawaii when it's 90 degrees and super humid. But, we gotta do what we gotta do for the camera. And my cousin Lexi, who's a great filmmaker, and my friend John, who's an amazing photographer, and my friend Dakota, who's an amazing director and actress. They were all gonna be there, so they were kind of my unofficial team to help me make this video. So we get there, and a couple days later, the puppet comes, and as soon as the puppet gets there, it's go time. So I, unbox this puppet. I have no idea how to puppet a marionette. I don't know what I'm doing, so I have to learn that.
Thumb and index finger under the hand wires. You do it smoothly so you don't get the puppet jerking about.
I also don't know how it's gonna look on camera, so we do a lot of experimenting with the camera just to see what kind of shots work. I've always known that I wanted a very intimate type of cinematography with a short depth of field where the background is blurred and it draws extra detail to what's in the foreground. And I knew that I didn't want to have predetermined scenes. I wanted to convey a vibe more than a narrative. And that vibe I wanted to convey was, that feeling when you're alone traveling somewhere and you feel a little bit lonely, a little bit sad, but also proud of yourself for not needing anyone to have a good time. That's kind of one of the tones I wanted to convey subtly. And the other I wanted to convey was just a feeling of being out around people and just feeling confused about how other people work. A lot of the time when I go out, I'm what are these people laughing about? I'm so curious. What are people talking about? I don't know what to talk about. I kind of feel maybe a little bit awkward sometimes. And I think the robot, or Glebe is his name, is kind of a reflection of how I feel sometimes when I'm out and about in the world. So we would go to all these different locations. We just drive around sometimes randomly and just try to find cool shit. If we're driving, maybe we see, we found a graveyard that was there's something special about it. Later on, we figured out that this graveyard was apparently haunted. When we drove by and we filmed, you could kind of see it in the video. There was this giant black goat with these devil horns sitting atop the cemetery. Anyway, we were initially gonna hop the fence, and then something told us like, we'll film from the outside. And we went to this cool place called La Perouse Bay to do some shots with this Mars-like background. We went to the Four Seasons Hotel where they filmed White Lotus season 1. You know, we'd see chickens on the side of the road, and we just like stop and film with chickens.
Did you get it? Oh, they took it! They took it! That's great!
Yeah, have him
forward towards the edge of that circle.
there. Back. Yep, right there. Don't fuck this up, Taylor. There's a chicken in the background.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then have him just look straight up.
Can't do that.
That's so creepy with a smile.
This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea.
You do it without the smile?
Yeah, I can try. He's laughing. This is just sadistic.
Without the smile. That's fine.
Are you catching this?
Yes.
Oh my god. No.
And we'd go up to the top of a volcano called Haleakala, and we shot above the clouds. We went to this abandoned sugarcane factory. We went everywhere. Yeah, we did a lot. And I would be around my hotel all the time filming, and people would like come up to me and they'd be like, "Oh, are you a professional puppeteer?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm the puppet master of California, actually." They'd be like, "Oh, so nice to meet you." And days later, I would hear people like walking by, and I'd hear them whisper, "That's the puppet master." Yeah, it was like 7 days straight of just like waking up before sunrise, because I wanted to do this all practically, and I didn't want to do much in post, like in VFX, or I didn't want to do anything in VFX. I didn't want additional crew or gear. It was just the puppet and the camera, and that was it, you know, using sunlight. So we would wake up before sunrise to get that good light. By the end of this trip, this tux smelled so bad. Like, you know, it was a bitch to get on and off, so I would just like stay in it all day. I'd like nap in it. It was disgusting. But yeah, you know, I had to do what I had to do. And I'd go into like nice restaurants, all dressed up in a tux with my freaking puppet, and people would be like, "What the fuck?" But it was great, and people enjoyed it. At the end of the day, most of the magic happened in editing. You know, like when you're puppeteering the puppet, it's like, it's really hard to make it consistently look good. But you know, sometimes you get 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds of like something good. You just take that little piece and you cut all those magical moments together. And also when I was editing it, I was like, this looks a lot better without me in it. It told the story better without me in it at all. So wearing that tux was kind of for nothing. Yeah, it was really fun to make, and I'm really grateful for all the people around me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do nearly as good of a job. You know, everyone was creative and offered their creative input, and were willing to wake up and embarrass themselves around me. Yeah, it was fun. It's cool to see it finally out. It's cool to see Anjuna Deep support it and put it on their YouTube channel. And I think the moral of the story is you really don't need much to make something cool. Like, you don't need a whole crew. You don't need perfect lighting. You don't need the best camera. We shot this on like a 15, 20-year-old Canon camera. Is it like 4K? No. Could it have been shot better, or could the lighting have been better? Could the puppeteering have been better? Like, yes, to all those things, but I'm glad I made it. You know, making it is better than not, and it's still able to uplift people. And I guess just do what you want to do, and don't worry too much about perfection. Just make shit. The core can be conveyed without a bajillion dollars. Anyway, the song is called Kingdom Falling, and it's out now on Anjuna Deep. You could find it on Spotify, Apple Music, Beatport, anywhere you want. And thank you so much for watching the video and listening to me chat and talk about the song, and thank you for listening to the song. I appreciate you, and I look forward to sharing what's to come.